everybody. I don't know when this video will find its way onto YouTube, but it's currently Saturday afternoon and I'm going to have a beer. Found an interesting few beers in the supermarket at the end of the street, and this is the one I'm trying first. Spill the Beans Coffee Porter. On the top it says the Great British Brewing Company, and at the bottom it says guest brewer is Brains. So, deep brown porter brewed with real coffee beans. There is an initial roasted malty chocolate aroma with notes of caramel, licorice, raisins and some cocoa. The taste is creamy smooth with notes of chocolate, figs, raisins and sweet malt. So, bodes well. I'm going to open it with the Laguiole. Works a treat. It's only 4.5% by volume, and it's only a small bottle. But if it lives up to the hype, I should be going back and getting some more tomorrow. Initial roasted malty chocolate aroma. There is actually, yeah. That's delightful. Very coffee, very chocolate. Quite sweet. Could do with a little bit of hoppiness to carry the end of the flavour through. But I like that. Spill the Beans Coffee Porter from the Great British Brewing Company, but actually brewed by Brains. Now, first off, I want to show you a new product I bought. I've been thinking about upgrading my torches for the winter, and I couldn't decide what to do, and in the end I realised what I ought to do is upgrade my batteries. Move away from disposable CR123s and get some rechargeable 18650s. I'll show you what I've settled on. Okay, so this is how the batteries come in a plastic blister pack. USB rechargeable 18650 lithium ion battery, 3400 milliamp hours, so that's quite good. I believe the 18650 format tops out around 35 or 3600. Information on the back: it's built from Panasonic cells. It's got reverse polarity protection and overcharging discharging protection. And this is what they're like when you get them out. There is the USB socket, or micro USB to be precise. A couple of things we need to bear in mind with the battery itself. An 18650 unprotected, 65.2mm long. A protected 18650 is 67mm long, and this is 70.6, so a good 3.5mm longer than you might be expecting. Not too much of a problem though, because two CR123s give you a combined length of 69, so it's only 1.5 or 1.6 millimeters longer than the batteries I'm replacing. This is currently my most powerful torch. I think 465 lumens, which was pretty impressive when it came out. So, actually, I'll just show you. It is a bit chunkier than CR123s. I believe they are 17mm diameter and this is 18.4. So if you're proposing to put one in a torch that doesn't specify it takes 18650, you might need to check. And obviously with most torches you'll have a spring at either end to take up the extra length. So basically all we do, see we're still in focus, USB lead, micro USB I should keep saying, plug it in there, little red light comes on. Can you see that on the camera? There we go. Just about in focus. And all we do now is leave that probably for about 8 hours to charge up. Unfortunately I don't have a digital battery charger, so I can't run any capacity tests when it's fully charged up. But what I will do in a few weeks perhaps is come back and let you know how I've got on with using these as a replacement for these. Next thing, I want to give you a quick update on the knife we looked at last week, the Niveg Carver. Okay, so quick update on the Niveg Carver. I've done two things. First thing is a beeswax on the handle scales. When the knife arrived the wood was very dry feeling and you might not see much of a difference, but a couple of coats of beeswax has made the wood feel much better. So all I did was scrape a few shavings off a block of beeswax, melt them with a heat gun, and then when the wax was liquid just rub it in with a cloth. That has made a big difference. Second thing, when I came to strop the knife, it turns out there was a little burr about halfway along the blade, which I hadn't noticed. Couldn't really see it with the naked eye, but it left a big scrape up the middle of the strop. So I've given it a tickle on the diamond stone, stropped it, and now that edge is lovely. Because it came with a reasonable working edge, but nowhere near as sharp as I like. So there you go, quick update on the Niveg Carver. Very pleased with this knife. It is a lovely thing. And finally, we're going to have a closer look at the recent purchase, the Doboru Japanese style folder. Okay, so this is how the knife comes. Simple printed box. We've got some specs on the back there. Slide out tray. Little Johnny bag. And there's the knife. Now this is from Shadow Cutlery. They're an American firm, and it seems their main business is fantasy knives and props for television. They describe this Doboru as a Japanese folder in ancient bone. It's from the Antique Relics collection. Is it any good? Yes, with certain caveats. We've got nice bone scales. The construction is a single piece that forms the back and the liners folded round into a trench shape. Central separator. It's all held together by the two pivots, which are these big tubes. Both blades are slip joints with a Higanakami style flange on the tang for holding it open. Specs off the box are 3CR13 stainless steel. The close length is 3.5 inches and it weighs 1.5 ounces. The only problem I've got really with this is if you think this is really a traditional knife, it's not. It uses sort of a couple of design elements to suggest it is, but this is from an American company. It's manufactured in China. There was a sticker there. And really, it's just a bit of fun. On the blades, we've got two fake effects. We've got the fake ham-on, which appears to be etched, and we've got the fake brute de forge finish, which is painted on. There is some texturing stamped into the metal, and then we've got this black stuff painted on, and it does just look like paint. It doesn't look like any of the better quality coatings you would see on carbon steel blades. One problem I have with this, which is a problem I have with proper Higanakamis, is that on small friction folders with the little thumb plate to keep the knife open, I'm not convinced they're very safe in use. A lot of people have a downer on slip joints because they believe they're not safe in use. I don't agree with that. A decent slip joint's perfectly safe if you use it properly. But with these friction folders, if it was a larger friction folder where when you hold the handle the extended tang is held by the main part of your hand, I'm quite comfortable with that. But a smaller one where you put your thumb on the button, I'm not sure that's going to be as reliable. You're easy to lose concentration, it's easier for your thumb to slip. Having said that, you're not going to be using this knife for any heavy tasks. Opening the mail, opening boxes, sharpening pencils, that kind of thing. There isn't really a great deal more to say about it. It's well made, even though the construction isn't very traditional. It's nice looking. The basic steel probably won't keep an edge for very long. And the edge it comes with could do with a bit of work. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear the roughness on the edge. So what's my conclusion? Is it worth the money? Yes. Providing you take it on its own merits, and you don't expect any sort of authenticity or credibility, it's a nice little knife. Bit of fun. And I think that's the best way to see this. It's a bit of fun. It's not history. It's not traditional. But it is a bit of fun. So we'll have a look at some close-ups and you can see what you think.